The amount of people that have stopped by is just incredible, and that really shows in the memorial behind me here. I found folks that got here at 4 o'clock this morning. This is Lorna and her son CJ, and it's actually a tradition for them. Soup cans all over the ground. We are right off of Highway 146, hundreds of cans, and this right here is the actual crossing arm that the semi knocked off. How lucky am I that I get to wake up to this beautiful sound of the Louisville Youth Choir. In the corner of Armory and Muhammad Ali, you'll see debris like this scattered all around, but the real sight to see is the SUV behind me. The Marsh family has already more than doubled their goal on the GoFundMe account. We do know that 2 victims are being treated here at University Hospital, a male and a female, and 2 other men were found dead at the scene. It still smells like smoke here at the Derby Estates apartment complex. No word on exactly how long this road will be closed, but the commissioners say it will likely take several months to hear back from the insurance company. Here is the church, and there is the new steeple. Open the door and see all the people.
It's a great day.
It's truly amazing.
But the story behind today's celebration at the Second Baptist Church is no light nursery rhyme.
It was a storm and a lot of lightning with it, and it damaged the steeple to the point where it had to be removed.
Originally called the Tower Clock Church, it was built in the 1850s. The steeple was struck by lightning in 1915, and now, more than a century later, it's restored.
We gather here today to bless this steeple and those who work to restore it.
Pastor Leroy Marshall kicked off the morning with a blessing over the new steeple. He talked about the rich history behind the Southern Indiana landmark.
Rumored to be an underground railroad station.
The Tower Clock Church was a safe place for slaves. The 65-foot steeple towers 150 feet above the street and served as a beacon of hope for slaves crossing the river.
They could see the tower, and their goal was to get across the river any way they could. And once they got here, they knew they would have help.
Many church and community members signed the base of the steeple, an honor for Bernetta White, who has lived in New Albany her whole life.
I hope my ancestors will be able to see my name.
These excited Hoosiers say their city's skyline is once again whole, and this time ready for anything.
This steeple is built of aluminum, and I think it'll withstand almost anything that might be coming in the future.
Cheers and chants ringing out from the KFC Yum Center as Ali fans secured their seats for the champ's funeral.
There's no other way that I would turn it down. It's unbelievable, really.
These tickets right now are gateways to this event, but they will then become mementos, very valuable mementos.
People lining up downtown as early as 9 o'clock last night. Lawn chairs and blankets lining Main Street through the overnight hours.
Truly blessed moment for the world, and I wouldn't miss it for anything in the world because it's going to only happen like this one time.
Around 6 o'clock this morning, a mad rush of people crossing the street to the steps of the Yum Center. Police and security organized a line that started at the box office window, wrapping around all sides of the Yum. Thousands of people from across the country, each with a personal reason for wanting to be part of this historic event.
His wife Lonnie was there. Lonnie was great. I asked her if it was okay. He gave me a kiss. It was the best kiss I've ever had in my life.
My dad passed away in 2011. I felt compassion to come here, do a tribute for him.
Muhammad Ali has always been my idol, my role model, my inspiration.
Originally scheduled to open at 10 a.m., the ticket windows opened just before 8:30, and an hour and 10 minutes later, all 15,000 tickets were gone.
I'm deeply disappointed because the tickets were supposed to have been given out at 10 o'clock.
Ticket holder or not, everyone downtown this morning said they will pay their respects to the greatest.
Muhammad Ali is the greatest, and we came all the way from Chicago, and I'm just so excited to be here in Kentucky.
We're going to bring you a story now of how 2 tragedies in one family are leading to the inspiration of a local performer.
His first songs, written in a time of pain and loss, helped discover his passion for music. Good morning, Kentucky. And as Julia Rose tells us that music is helping the entire community now to heal.
Music has been a hobby for Elizabethtown native Tyler Davis since he was a teenager. But his true passion for singing and songwriting came to life after the death of a close friend.
I started thinking of everything, our whole relationship, me and Brianna's, and what an amazing young woman she was. And the first thing that popped in my head was song.
And that's just what he did. Wrote a song for 17-year-old Breonna Taylor, who was killed by a drunk driver last year.
Spirit of number 5 will live on.
The song is called The Spirit of Number 5 because that was Brianna's softball number.
You came to me for comfort and I made sure that I was always there.
The Taylor family heard the song and asked Tyler to play it at her funeral. An unlikely and tough first gig.
I didn't plan for the quote-unquote publicity or anything because it started out just for me.
Learned so much from you and now that you're gone.
Tyler quickly realized the song wasn't just for him. It was for Brianna's family and friends, a small but key part in their journey to heal.
It was God using me. I was simply a tool, and I was extremely humbled at that moment when I came across that realization.
Another tragedy struck the Taylor family 1 week later. Brianna's brother Bryce was killed in an ATV accident.
If anybody wants to say anything about Bryce or...
As family and friends and an entire community desperately tried to wrap their heads around the second accident,
My best friend, a big brother.
Tyler once again turned to music. He wrote another song, Together Again, for Bryce. Tyler, once a football star, is now an aspiring singer and songwriter. He hates that his music career started from Brianna's death, but says her father, David Taylor, didn't give him much of a choice.
After Brianna's funeral, David looked at me and said, you know, you could be the next Jerry Rice, but you're made to do music.
And then that fire spread to a neighboring home. GMK's Jonathan Wall is live for us now in the Highlands, still trying to make sense of the chaos that happened at Mall St. Matthews last night. Police say thousands of young people were involved in riots and fights at the shopping center. Here's a quick look at your drive times as you're heading out the door. If you're on 71 or 64 from the Snyder to the Junction, it's about a 10 to a 14-minute ride. There's also an injury accident at Broadway and Baxter. That's a very busy intersection. Well, sorry, kids. The clock winding down now on summer vacation. It's hard to believe we're now just a couple of weeks away from the start of school.